The August 15th, 2016 City Council meeting of the City of Vandalia is now called to order. We will have a moment of reflection followed by the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. Would you please stand for the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Council, you've had the opportunity to review the council workshop minutes of July the 18th, the council meeting minutes of July the 18th, the special council meeting study session minutes of August the 1st, and the special council meeting minutes of August the 1st. Do you have any revisions or corrections to be made? If not, they'll stand approved. We have no communication, petitions, or awards this evening, nor do we have any public hearings. And that brings us to comments from interested citizens. So if there's anyone in our audience this evening who would like to make a comment, please come to the podium, state your name and address for our records and your comment. Seeing none, we will continue on with the city manager's report. Mr. Cruzy.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have a couple items this evening. First, just want to let everyone know that our city offices will be closed on Monday, September 5th in observance of the Labor Day holiday. However, the rec center will be open from 7 a.m. till noon in the fitness area, the gymnasium, and the track only. And also want to remind everyone that because of Labor Day, our next council meeting is going to be held on Tuesday, September 6th.
Thank you.
And also, just want to remind everybody about the upcoming Oktoberfest. Sister Cities Oktoberfest is going to be held September 9th and 10th at the sports complex.
Thank you. We have some action items this evening. The boards and commission appointments. Mr. Cruzy.
Thank you, Your Honor. Again, Council has received an application from Deborah Berry, who's requesting to be appointed to the Bicycle Committee. Council's had an opportunity to, again, review her application, as well as have a meet and greet with her in the study session prior to this evening's meeting.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
I move that we approve the appointment of Ms. Deborah Berry to the Vandalia Bicycle Committee.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilwoman Farr, second by Councilman Blakesley, that we do approve Ms. Deborah Berry for appointment to the Bicycle Committee. Any comments? I'll just say that after her interview and so forth, she's gung-ho, which is kind of important for that committee. So, anyone else? Seeing none, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Blakesley?
Yes.
Councilmember Gerhard?
Yes.
Councilmember Farce?
Yes.
Councilmember Hurst?
Yes.
Councilmember Ehlers?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Lewis?
Yes.
Mayor Setzer?
Yes, and the motion carries 7-0. The liquor license change of stock, Max Sports and Spirits Incorporated. Mr. Cruzy?
Thank you, Your Honor. Yeah, the Ohio Department of Liquor Control has notified the city of an application for a transfer of corporate stock ownerships. Again, so the same owners, just a transfer in the percentage of ownerships. And Max is Sports and Spirits doing business as the Hot Air Balloon at 400 East National Road.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion. We do not request a no DLC hearing for a change of stock for Max is Sports and Spirits, Inc., doing business as Hot Air Balloon, located at 400 East National Road.
Second.
I had a motion from Councilman Gerhard, second by Councilman Ehlers, that we do not request a, what is it called? Request from ODLC for a hearing for Max Sports and Spirits Incorporated. Anybody have any comments? Seeing none, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Gerhard?
Yes.
Councilmember Farce?
Yes.
Councilmember Herbst?
Yes.
Councilmember Ehlers?
Yes.
Councilmember Blakesley?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Lewis?
Yes.
Mayor Setzer?
Yes, and the motion passes 7-0. We have no old business this evening, and that brings us to our first resolution, Resolution 16-R-68 by title only, please.
Resolution 16R68, a resolution approving the record plan for Stone Quarry Crossings, Section 13.
Thank you. Mr. Cruzy?
Thank you, Your Honor. And this plat would create a 4.591 acre parcel along Fieldstone Way just west of the existing MAC facility. The purpose of the plat is to allow for the sale of the newly created Lot 2MAC for future growth and expansion. Funds from the sale of this property will be used to pay down the principal on the Stone Quarry Crossings bond anticipation notes.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
Move that we approve Resolution 16-R-68.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Ayers and second by Councilman Gerhart that we do approve Resolution 16-R-68. Any comments? Seeing none, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Fairst,
Yes.
Councilmember Herbst,
Yes.
Councilmember Ayers,
Yes.
Councilmember Blakesley,
Yes.
Councilmember Gerhard,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Lewis,
Yes.
Mayor Setzer.
Yes, and the motion carries 7-0. Resolution 16-R-69.
16R69, a resolution authorizing the city manager or his designee to prepare and submit an application to participate in the Ohio Public Works Commission state capital improvement and/or local transportation improvement programs, and authorizing additional action as necessary for the city to participate in such programs with respect to the Kenbrook Drive water main replacement project.
Thank you. Mr. Cruzy?
Thank you, Your Honor. The replacement of 2,000 feet of water main on Kenbrook Drive from Dixie Drive to Ranch View is planned for 2017 as part of our 5-year capital improvement plan. This resolution authorizes the submission of an Ohio Public Works Commission application for financial assistance in the form of a 25% grant, or $100,000, and a 25% loan, again $100,000. This project would be designed, bid, and inspected in-house.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
Your Honor, move that we approve 16R69 as presented.
Second.
It's been moved by Vice Mayor Lewis, second by Councilwoman Fairst, that we do approve Resolution 16-R-69 as presented. Any comments? Seeing none, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Herbst,
Yes.
Councilmember Ayers,
Yes.
Councilmember Blakesley,
Yes.
Councilmember Gerhard,
Yes.
Councilmember Fairst,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Lewis,
Yes.
Mayor Setzer.
Yes, and the motion carries 7-0. Resolution 16-R-70 by title only, please.
16R70, a resolution authorizing the purchase of highway rock salt from Compass Minerals American, Inc. of Overland Park, Kansas, at a price of $57.06 per ton for an amount up to 2,000 tons.
Thank you. Mr. Cruzy?
Thank you, Your Honor. The city participates in the Southwest Ohio Purchasers for Government Purchasing Consortium for the bidding of highway rock salt. SWAT 4G recently received bids on behalf of 77 entities. The city received 4 bids, with Compass Point Minerals providing the lowest bid of $57.06 per ton. This price is $10.83 per ton less than last year's bid.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
Go ahead.
Make a motion we approve Resolution 16-R-70.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Gerhard, second by Councilman Ayers, that we do approve Resolution 16-R-70. Once again, any comments from anyone? Seeing none, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Ayers,
Yes.
Councilmember Blakesley,
Yes.
Councilmember Gerhard,
Yes.
Councilmember Fairst,
Yes.
Councilmember Herbst,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Lewis,
Yes.
Mayor Setzer.
Yes, and the motion passes 7-0. Resolution 16-R-71.
16R71, a resolution waiving the formal bidding process and authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract with Security Fence Group, Inc., Traffic Signals and Lighting Division, to provide repairs and replacement equipment for the damaged traffic signal at US 40 and Peters Pike at quoted price of $22,969.
Thank you. Mr. Cruzy?
Thank you, Your Honor. The traffic signal mast arm, signal heads, and controller cabinet at National and Peters were damaged as a result of an automobile accident back in late May. At that time, Capital Electric was called in to make temporary repairs. Since then, the city has received 2 quotes for the needed repairs, with Security Fence Group submitting the lowest quote. The cost of these repairs will be reimbursed by either the driver's insurance company or the city's insurance.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
I move that we approve Resolution 16R71 as presented.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Farr, second by Councilman Blakesley, that we do approve Resolution 16-R-71. Anyone have any questions?
I did have one as far as the reimbursement for the costs on this. We're going after the insurance company of the the one that caused the accident to subrogate back to that insurance company?
Correct, assuming the person is actually insured. Yes.
So we don't know yet, or,
Rob?
There's a police report. I have not read.
okay.
Yeah.
I believe they did have insurance.
And Maverma takes care of all of that on our behalf.
Right, but
Yeah.
then I would imagine it'd be up to them whether they subrogate back or not.
Correct.
Okay.
I was wondering, because of the expense, is there any advantage to like buying more than one mast arm or pole or whatever and having it? Because you know we're going to lose more poles, and it just seemed like at $22,000 for one pole, it might be a little cheaper to buy more than one.
Not the bull, those are special signal heads out there because they're in the line of the runway.
Yeah.
They're programmable signal heads for out there. Those are special.
They have
Now,
special
the poles,
optics.
The other ones we can get a little cheaper.
Well, those are aluminum poles as well, which are different than our black ones downtown for the same reason. They're in the flight line out there.
Okay.
And generally, the biggest issue you have with the mast arms isn't the cost, it's the 14 to 16 weeks to get them in. So if you had a uniform pole around town, you could have a spare around for when something like this happens.
I just asking. Just seemed like a lot of money for a pole.
Well, it's just not the pole. The signal heads out there are the high dollar item and the replacing the cabinet.
The cabinet as well.
Okay.
I mean,
Very well.
Anyone else? Seeing none, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Blakesley,
Yes.
Councilmember Gerhard,
Yes.
Councilmember Farce,
Yes.
Councilmember Herbst,
Yes.
Councilmember Ehlers,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Lewis,
Yes.
Mayor Setzer.
Yes, and the motion carries 7-0. Resolution 16-R-72 by title only, please.
16R72, a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into an amendment to the agreement with the Vandalia Butler Foundation that established the rules regarding the Vandalia Cultural Arts Endowment Fund and the creation of an advisory committee for such fund.
Thank you. Mr. Cruzy?
Thank you, Your Honor. A proposal has been received to change the name of the Cultural Arts Committee from the Friends of the City of Vandalia to the Vandalia Cultural Arts Advisory Board, and also to amend the criteria for membership on the board. Currently, membership for the Friends of the City of Vandalia is limited to residents of the city. Membership on the Vandalia Cultural Arts Committee is proposed to require that a majority of the members should be residents of the City of Vandalia with interest in public arts and the artistic community, but also to include that if any member is not a resident of Vandalia, that non-resident member must either be employed within the City of Vandalia or be an artist or otherwise involved in the artistic community of another local community.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
I move that we approve Resolution 16-R-72 as submitted.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Are there any comments?
Yes, Your Honor. I would go along with the approval, but I would like to offer an amendment that we should change the language in paragraph section 1 and just add the word shall in place of should be residents of the city of Vandalia, so that we have a majority that shall be residents as opposed to may be residents.
Okay, that was a motion. Do I have a second on the amendment?
Second.
It's been moved that we amend the,
Resolution 16R72, specifically the resolution in section 1, changing the word should to shall.
does everybody understand?
Mhm.
Thank you for pointing that out. Could we have a roll call on that?
And just to point out that there is an attachment, which is the actual amendment, and we would make that same change in the amendment because the amendment also contains the should language. So since we're approving it with shall, we will fix that as well, just so you know.
Good, thank you. Do we need to vote on the amendment?
I think we have I kind of lost track where we were, but I believe we have a motion to approve this resolution as amended currently. with us.
We had the motion to approve as is, and then he amended.
Okay, we would just need.
We had a second on the amendment.
Right, I think we need Richard to withdraw his first motion, and then we make a new motion on the amended one.
I kindly withdraw my first motion.
Okay, does everybody understand?
Don't blame me, blame Roberts. He's the guy who came up with all this stuff.
All right, do we all understand then what we're doing here? Okay, so we are voting to have the language that was amended as the motion. Okay.
Correct.
All right.
And who made the motion? That was Mr. Lewis, is that correct?
Yes, and Mr. Gerhardt seconded.
Okay.
Okay.
Roll
Every-
call.
Moving on.
Would you please call the roll then?
Councilmember Gerhardt,
Yes.
Councilmember Farce,
Yes.
Councilmember Herbst,
Yes.
Councilmember Ehlers,
Yes.
Councilmember Blakesley,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Lewis,
Yes.
Mayor Setzer.
Yes, and the motion carries 7-0. Our ordinance this evening in their first reading, the first one is 16-25 by title only, please.
Ordinance 1625, an ordinance approving a major amendment to the planned unit development for the property located at 80 Clubhouse Way and owned by Pete and Susan Stodd in the RSF3 district with the PUD overlay.
Thank you. Mr. Cruzy?
Thank you, Your Honor. The owners of 80 Clubhouse Way are requesting a PUD major amendment to allow a 150 square foot expansion to an existing deck that would increase the lot coverage from 38.4% to 38.7%. The maximum lot coverage permitted in the residential single-family 3 zoning district is 35%. The Planning Commission reviewed this request on June 28th and unanimously recommended approval.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
Your Honor, I move that we approve ordinance 1625 in its first reading.
I need a second.
Second.
Thank you. It's been moved by Vice Mayor Lewis, second by Councilman Gerhardt, that we do approve ordinance 16-25 in its first reading. Any comments? Seeing none, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Farce,
Yes.
Councilmember Herbst,
Yes.
Councilmember Ehlers,
Yes.
Councilmember Blakesley,
Yes.
Councilmember Gerhardt,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Lewis,
Yes.
Mayor Setzer.
Yes, and the motion carries 7-0. Ordinance 16-26 by title only.
1626, an ordinance amending section 1276.10 curb openings of the Planning and Zoning Code within the codified ordinances of the City of Vandalia.
Thank you, Mr. Cruzy.
Thank you, Your Honor. The zoning code limits commercial and industrial properties to 1 curb cut per street that the lot has frontage on. Therefore, most commercial and industrial lots are limited to 1 curb cut. This proposal would allow commercial and industrial lots with large lengths of frontage to have more than 1 curb cut subject to certain conditions. The number of curb cuts permitted would be dependent upon the width of the lot and the posted speed limit.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion that we approve ordinance 16-26.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Blakesley, second by Vice Mayor Lewis, that we approve ordinance 16-26. Any comments?
Yeah, over the years, I've been battling back and forth with this one. And over the years, I've seen variance requests come in for additional curb cuts where sometimes we approve it, sometimes we deny it. I really think it needs to be more of a case-by-case decision on some of these, because I'm not sure we want to give up the control for future projects and how that might impact our community.
Any other comments? I will say that I agree with Councilman Herbst on this. So, seeing none, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Herbst,
No.
Councilmember Ehlers,
No.
Councilmember Blakesley,
Yes.
Councilmember Gerhardt,
Yes.
Councilmember Farce,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Lewis,
Yes.
Mayor Setzer.
No. What was the count?
4-3.
4-3. Passes 4-3. Okay, thank you. Then we go to ordinance 16-27.
Ordinance 1627, an ordinance approving a major amendment to the planned unit development for the property located at 55 Foley Drive and owned by Bo Townsend Ford Lincoln in the Highway Business District with the PUD overlay.
Thank you. Mr. Cruzy?
Thank you, Your Honor. Bo Townsend Collision Center is requesting a PUD major amendment to allow a storage building to be located with a 10-foot rear yard setback where 30 feet is required and a 10-foot south yard setback where 20 feet is required. The structure will be located adjacent to the northbound on-ramp at National Road 975. This 24-foot high, 3,000 square foot structure is proposed to be a pre-engineered steel building of the same color and types as the existing facility. The Planning Commission reviewed this case at its July 13th meeting and recommended approval subject to certain conditions. One, that the structure be moved 10 feet to the north in order to meet the required side yard setback. Two, that staff review and approve any wall signage associated with the new structure. And three, that the existing pole sign fronting I-75 be removed. Council has reviewed this request during 2 study sessions, and based upon those follow-up discussions, Bo Townsend has agreed to maintain the landscaping along the west property line to serve as a buffer for the new building.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
Your Honor, I'll move that we approve ordinance 1627, subject to the provisions in section 1.
Second.
I have the motion from Vice Mayor Lewis, second by Councilman Ehlers, that we do approve ordinance 16-27. Any further comments from anyone? Seeing none, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Ehlers?
Yes.
Councilmember Blakesley?
Yes.
Councilmember Gerhard?
Yes.
Councilmember Fairst?
Yes.
Councilmember Herbst?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Lewis?
Yes.
Mayor Setzer?
Yes, and the motion passes 7-0. We have ordinances in their second reading, and the first one is ordinance 16-21. By title only, please.
Ordinance 1621, an ordinance approving a major amendment to the planned unit development for the property located at 20 Francis Lane and owned by Sherry Road in the RSF4 district with a PUD overlay regarding rear setback.
Thank you, Mr. Cruzy.
Thank you, Your Honor. And the owner is requesting a PUD major amendment to allow a 12-foot patio cover to be placed on the rear of her home. This proposed 12-foot patio cover would extend 7 feet further into the required rear yard than permitted. The Planning Commission reviewed this request at its May 24th meeting and unanimously recommended approval.
Thank you. Since this is an ordinance in its second reading, I am opening a public hearing. And if there's anyone in the audience who would like to make comment, would you please come to the podium, state your name and address for our records, and then your comment. Seeing none, may I have a motion? Oh, I closed the hearing. Sorry. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion we approve ordinance 16-21 in its second reading.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Gerhardt, second by Councilwoman Forrest, that we do approve ordinance 16-21 in its second reading. Any comments from anyone? Seeing none, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Blakesley?
Yes.
Councilmember Gerhard?
Yes.
Councilmember Fairst?
Yes.
Councilmember Herbst?
Yes.
Councilmember Ehlers?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Lewis?
Yes.
Mayor Setzer?
Yes, and the motion passes 7-0. We have our 16-22 ordinance in its second reading. By title only, please.
Ordinance 1622, an ordinance approving a major amendment to the planned unit development for the property located at 212 West National Road and owned by Denise Weinmiller in the Office Service District with a PUD overlay to allow the addition of an accessory structure.
Thank you. Mr. Cruzy?
Thank you, Your Honor. Denise Weinmiller is requesting approval to place a 10-foot by 12-foot storage shed in the front yard at 212 West National Road. This property is located within the Office Service PUD, which only permits accessory structures to be located in either the side or rear yard. However, this property in question is a flag lot. Therefore, the front yard of this lot is actually adjacent to the rear yard of a lot that fronts on National Road. The storage shed is proposed to be located 5 feet from the east lot line and 10 feet from the north lot line. The Planning Commission reviewed this request at its May 24th meeting and unanimously recommended approval.
Thank you. Once again, since this is an ordinance in its second reading, I will open a public hearing, and if there's anyone in the audience who would like to make comment, would you please come to the podium, state your name and address for our records.
Thank you, Your Honor. My name is Denise Weinmiller, and I'm the property owner at 212 West National Road. I would just like to state I apologize I wasn't able to attend the first meeting. I had a conflict with work. I'm just here tonight to address any questions or concerns the council may have of me.
Anyone?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Is there anyone else who would like to make comment? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing and ask for a motion.
Make a motion that we approve ordinance 16-22 is read.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Blakesley, second by Councilman Ayers, that we do approve ordinance 16-22 in its second reading. Any comments? Seeing none, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Gerhardt,
Yes.
Councilmember Farce,
Yes.
Councilmember Herbst,
Yes.
Councilmember Ayers,
Yes.
Councilmember Blakesley,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Lewis,
Yes.
Mayor Setzer.
Yes, and the motion carries 7-0. Ordinance 16-23 by title only.
1623, an ordinance approving a major amendment to the planned unit development for the enclave at the Falls regarding the timing of building certain structures.
Thank you, Mr. Cruzy.
Thank you, Your Honor. So a request for a PUD major amendment has been received for the final development plan for the enclave at the Falls. When the plan was originally approved in 2013, it was specified that buildings 7 and 8 would not be constructed until lots 1 through 6 had been sold. The applicant is now requesting permission to construct buildings 7 and 8 without restriction. The Planning Commission reviewed this request at its May 24th meeting and unanimously recommended approval.
Thank you. Since this is an ordinance in its second reading, I will once again open a public hearing. And if there's anyone who would like to make comment about this ordinance, would you please come to the podium, state your name and address for our records? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing and ask for a motion.
I move that we approve ordinance 16-23 in its second reading.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilwoman Forrest, second by Vice Mayor Lewis, that we do approve ordinance 16-23 in its second reading. Any comments? Seeing none, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Farce,
Yes.
Councilmember Herbst,
Yes.
Councilmember Ayers,
Yes.
Councilmember Blakesley,
Yes.
Councilmember Gerhardt,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Lewis,
Yes.
Mayor Setzer.
Yes, and the motion passes 7-0. Ordinance 16-24 by title only, please.
1624, an ordinance to adopt and implement the procedures under Chapter 5722 of the Ohio Revised Code to facilitate reutilization of non-productive land situated within the city of Vandalia, Ohio, and enter into a memorandum of understanding with the Montgomery County Land Reutilization Corporation regarding such land.
Thank you, Mr. Cruzy.
Thank you, Your Honor. This resolution does authorize the city to enter into a memorandum of understanding with the Montgomery County Land Bank. Again, one of the purposes of the land bank is to assist governmental entities such as the city and other non-profit or for-profit persons to assemble, clear the title of a vacant, abandoned, tax foreclosed, or other real property within the city in a coordinated manner. Again, so we've got several properties around town that the city would be interested in pursuing potentially, again, this land bank program to alleviate some of those blighted areas.
Thank you. Since this is an ordinance in its second reading, once again, I will open a public hearing. So if there's anyone in our audience who would like to speak to this ordinance, would you please come to the podium, state your name and address for our records, and then your comment? Seeing none, I will close the public hearing and ask for a motion.
Move that we approve ordinance 16-24 in its second reading.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Ayers and second by Councilman Blakesley that we approve ordinance 16-24 in its second reading. Are there any comments? I'll just make one, and that is I've been to a number of presentations about the effectiveness of the land bank program, and certainly if we can use it in our community, it'll do some good. So I hope that we can pursue that a little bit further. Anyone else? Seeing none, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Ayers,
Yes.
Councilmember Blakesley,
Yes.
Councilmember Gerhardt,
Yes.
Councilmember Farce,
Yes.
Councilmember Herbst,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Lewis,
Yes.
Mayor Setzer.
Yes, and the motion passes 7-0. We have an emergency ordinance this evening, and that is ordinance 16-28. Mr. McDonald?
This is an ordinance opposing a temporary moratorium on medical marijuana. The issue is that it becomes legal in the state of Ohio next month. However, there is still some guidelines that are anticipated from the Department of Commerce and the Pharmacy Board, and we're not too sure what exactly they're going to say. Also, there's a lot of issues involved with this type of use that need to be studied, and so staff had recommended and council had asked about this. imposing a moratorium on it so that somebody would not be able to come in early September and establish a use before we've had time to put in any type of either regulations or restrictions or approvals that may be necessary from the city. So we're asking that this be passed tonight because it's going to be legal by the time council meets again.
You didn't need to read it by title.
I'm sorry, I thought you were asking something else.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Nope, my head's not in the game today. I'm very sorry. I will
No, that's-
now I will read the ordinance.
That's okay. And I mean, your explanation was great, but I didn't know if that would constitute the actual
Oh, no, I'll read it
title.
now. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
1628, an ordinance imposing a temporary moratorium on the acceptance, consideration, and/or granting of any applications for local licensing approval and/or any zoning, occupancy, or other permits relating to cultivators, processors, or retail dispensaries of medical marijuana within the city of Vandalia and declaring an emergency.
Thank you.
Would
Do
you
you
like
have
an
anything-
explanation?
I think that you took Mr. Cruzy's
I believe so.
job there. Okay. Once again, since this is an emergency ordinance, I am opening a public hearing. So if there's anyone in the audience who would like to make comment about it, would you please come to the podium, state your name and address for our records, and then your comment. Seeing none, do I have a motion?
Your Honor, I move that we approve ordinance 1628 as an emergency.
Second.
It's been moved by Vice Mayor Lewis, second by Councilwoman Farce, that we approve the emergency ordinance 16-28. Any comments? Seeing none, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Herbst?
Yes.
Councilmember Ehlers?
Yes.
Councilmember Blakesley?
Yes.
Councilmember Gerhard?
Yes.
Councilmember Farce?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Lewis?
Yes.
Mayor Setzer?
Yes, and the motion passes 7-0. Council, you have reports from boards and commissions. You have the Board of Zoning Appeal minutes of June the 8th, the Civil Service Committee minutes of March the 9th, the Golf Advisory Board minutes of June the 20th, Planning Commission minutes of July the 12th, Public Art in Vandalia minutes of June the 21st, and the Vandalia Cultural Arts Committee minutes of June the 21st. Did you have any questions or comments about any of those minutes? Seeing none, we'll go on to the bill listing for July of this year, 2016, in the amount of $2,864,318.82. With that, we start out with our comments this evening. Mr. McDonald? Oh, okay. Mr. Cruzy?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay. Councilman Herbst?
Yes, yesterday I attended the 60th anniversary of the Vandalia Baptist Temple, longstanding church here in our community. It's pastored by Rick Washburn Jr. Brother Todd was pastor of that church from 1970 to 2007. He has since retired with his wife and moved to Florida. They were able to come back, and he preached once again here in Vandalia, and it was a very nice service.
Good.
I wish them well and more continued success.
Great. Councilman Ehlers?
Nothing tonight, thank you.
Okay. Councilman Gerhard?
No comment.
Councilman Blakesley?
The only one I have is anybody that wants to volunteer at the Sister Cities Oktoberfest, see me. I'll be happy to put them to work for a brat and a drink of your choice.
Wow.
Little incentive there.
That's hard to pass up.
See?
Okay. Councilwoman Farce?
I'm not sure if everybody's aware, but we've been blasting Facebook and the community, and finally came out with a poster the other day. We have our 2016 community art event, which is called Heavy Metal Remix. It will be at the Art Park from September 7th through the 18th. There'll be a lot going on. Local artist Doug Benedict will be putting together a sculpture made mostly, hopefully, from donated items from the community. So the design has not been decided yet. I met him out at Tynes Barn the other night, and Mike and Susie Tyne are donating a old antique plow, which I think will be the basis for the sculpture. So we've been getting donations. We need volunteers to help him do some prep work during that 10-day period. And on the 17th, there'll be a big celebration. It'll be near the culmination of the event. So we'll have a day of art in the park with music and activities. And then on the Sunday, the 18th, which is the final day that he'll be working, the Vandalia Butler Foundation will be doing a wine tasting. So all this information is on Facebook. The foundation has information on their page. The city has information on our cultural arts page. So if you're all interested, please get a hold of one of us, and we hope you all will participate. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. And I noticed in the blast you do specify those kind of things that should be donated.
Yes, steel.
And use your magnet.
Yes, use your magnet.
Thank you. Vice Mayor Lewis.
Nothing, Your Honor.
And I have nothing. Oh, no, we have. The last thing here is that we are going to go into executive session. And the executive session is to discuss the possible sale of real property. So I need a motion that we do go to executive session.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved by Vice Mayor Lewis, second by Councilman Blakesley, that we go into executive session. Would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Blakesley,
Yes.
Councilmember Gerhard, Councilmember Farce,
Yes.
Councilmember Herbst,
Yes.
Councilmember Ehlers, Vice Mayor Lewis,
Yes.
Mayor Setzer.
Yes, and the motion passed 7-0. Okay. Executive session.
That's what I tried to do, yeah. I saw Bob playing with his pen earlier, so I decided to call out of order and get his first. Yeah, that got me. Well, she didn't say read title only. She just said my name. And I was like, oh, Mary, yeah.